Every morning, Betty visits Chuck. She goes down to the basement and rattles Chuck's cage with her cane. Chuck only snarls and spits and grinds the rotten stubs of his teeth. Nish-nash, nish-nash. He's a real codger, Chuck is. Should have seen him back in the day, though. World ain't got zombies like Chuck anymore. As a girl, Betty liked to climb the town walls and watch the grown-ups fight Chuck's pack outside. Squirt sprayed blood. Whee flew a zombie head, but Chuck kept going. A freshly undead football player, he had the highest batting average in the country, and all the kids loved to hate it. I want to be an Axeman, Mommy, Betty pleaded over breakfast. I want to brain Chuck. Her mother shook her head at her, weary and wise. There's no money in it, Betty. None. Crossbows were all the rage in school, and Betty picked off a zombie head or two on the lazy golden afternoons of summer, but she never got a shot at Chuck. Came college, and a boy and hungry-mouthed children underfoot. Betty became an actuary and tried to forget about Chuck. Occasionally, she'd see a buddy on the street with brains dripping off his axe, and she'd come home melancholy with thoughts of a career change. But there was always the mortgage and tuition for the kids, and extermination fees for the husband, after he got bit in a parking lot at Trader Joe's. Came the surge. All over the country, axemen burned zombies day and night. Betty had never felt so low. She watched despondent as the red spots on the TV man's map grew sparse, while Betty's waist thickened, and sparser while Betty's hair grayed, and sparser still. One day, Betty was debt-free and her house was husband and children-free. She could have taken up the axe then, but her town was zombie-free. Except, she learned, for a specimen in the local zoo, preserved for posterity in a metal cage. Betty went to visit. Wonder of wonders, there stood Chuck. Pungent, no meat on his thighs, left eye hanging out, but Chuck nevertheless. What a sorry state he's in, Betty said to Chuck's keepers. Don't you know who this is? Come, at least feed him sheep brains at breakfast. They wouldn't listen. For once, Betty made the hard choice. For once, she did the right thing. She maxed out her cards, she paid off the night guard, she backed in her truck, loaded up the cage, and drove Chuck across state lines. Betty feels guilty now and then, but she figures a woman's got a right to her dream. Her knees won't bend, and her back aches something fierce, but she can still rattle Chuck's cage okay. Then Chuck snarls at her, and Betty laughs, and they pretend it's good old days all over again. Soon Betty will decide. Perhaps she'll brain Chuck. Perhaps she'll burn Chuck. Or perhaps one night, when all is quiet, she'll drive Chuck into town and unlock his cage and gift him back to society. World ain't got zombies like Chuck anymore. It sure could use some.